terrified me this week. It's like there were two big things that like happened to me this week. Maya is comfortable now. You know, that she's never too far away when I make these videos. But yes, so let's backtrack, shall we? So Wednesday night, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday night, I was driving home from work. I've mentioned a couple of times, but in case you don't know, I work in a TV station, and so our hours are, you know, not the typical 9 to 5. So I work right now 2 to 11 p.m. That's the shift that I've been doing. I live about an hour from my job, so I usually get home 11:55, midnight, around there. And I take a pretty big-ish highway to go home. One of the highways I take, the main one. And the speed limit, to paint the picture for you, the speed limit is 65. People go a lot faster than that. I go a lot faster than that, if I'm being honest. So I was going maybe 75-ish, and I was in the left lane, and we kind of like went around a bend. I went around a bend, and as soon as I went around the bend, there was a car in my lane going the opposite direction. Meaning, like, we were going head on in the same lane. And this person must have been going so fast that it literally felt like I blinked and we'll say he was right there, like right in front of me. The car was right in front of me, and I saw the two headlights, and of course I like freaked out. Thank goodness my instincts, I guess, are pretty good. Because I think I like either screamed or did like a little like gasp. I don't want to do it, but and then once I did that, I like took the wheel and I just swerved into the middle lane. Thank God there was no car there, or else that wouldn't have worked and probably would have made things pretty bad too. Would have involved somebody else. So thank goodness nobody was there. And so this car was so close to me that I literally thought, even after swerving, I thought that he was at least gonna clip like the corner of my bumper. He didn't. But he was so close, I don't even know how to explain to you, but he did not hit me. And because of how hard I like jerked the wheel, okay, this happened so fast that I am not 100% sure, but I either spun, like the car did like a 360, or the car like zigzagged, but either way I had no control of the car. And so I went from the left lane all the way to the right lane. There's 3 lanes, so I went over the middle lane and ended up in the right lane. And I, by the grace of God, did not hit the car that was going the wrong way. There was a car in the middle lane, but he was farther back, and he managed to go around me once I swerved, so he didn't hit me, and I didn't hit the rail either. It's my phone. Let me move that. So I didn't hit another car, I didn't hit the rail, and stopped. It never stopped. And after I gained control of the car again, I somehow was completely pointed in the right direction. Like, I wasn't facing the opposite way. Nothing. I was perfectly, like, the car never stopped, and I just kept going. It was just, I was like so stunned after it happened. Like, I couldn't understand how I was okay, because guys, when I tell you that it was a super, super close call, I'm not even being dramatic. I don't like to be dramatic, but I can honestly say that it could have been very, very bad, and I wouldn't be able to be making this video right now. Like, that's like, with two cars that are going 75-ish miles per hour, he was probably going faster than I was, going completely head on. I mean, you can figure out what could have happened. Or, you know, somebody else could have been involved if they were closer to me, and I would have hit them or hit the rail and totaled my car or whatever. My car has no damage, not a scratch. I don't have a scratch, nothing. And so I drove afterwards for like a good 5 seconds, and then it hit me, and I started to like do a little hyperventilating thing, and I called my mom, because I have my phone like on my dashboard, so I can just do like Siri, call mom, or whatever. Call my mom, and poor thing, I'm like hyperventilating, but I'm trying to tell her, like, before I say anything, I'm like, I'm okay, so she doesn't think I'm like dying on the side of the road. But I like was trying to tell her what happened, but I guess I couldn't like get the words out. And she basically was just like, okay, breathe and drive, and like, I'll stay on the phone with you. I was like 10 minutes away from my house, so I was close by, thank God. And eventually, like, I kind of got myself under control, and I like stopped crying, and I was like, okay, I'll be home in 10 minutes, and I hung up. And I just like, I prayed the whole way home, and I was like, well, I'm obviously not supposed to be dead right now, so I'm supposed to be on this earth for a reason. So I'm very curious as to why, because now I'm for sure like, alright, yeah, I'm gonna do something good with my life because I'm still here. Thank God. So I got home, my mom, she had turned the lights on, she was waiting for me, because obviously they're sleeping by the time I get home. I don't see them at night when I get home. But my mom was there, and then I told her what happened, and she was like, oh my God. And she hugged me, of course, and then the next morning they leave for work while I'm still sleeping, because we have obviously very different schedules, me working at night. But I remember she like came into my room and like hugged me and kissed me while I was sleeping. So that was that, and now I still obviously take the same highway to come home every day, and I left tire marks on the highway. I remember right where it happened, and I was looking, and there's tire marks that go all the way from the left lane all the way to the right lane. So I left my mark. I made my mark on the highway. So now every time I drive by, I think about it. But I'm not scared to drive. I'm not scared to be in a car. Like, it didn't scar me, thank God. My mom the next day was like, are you okay to drive? Like, do you want to stay at your aunt's house? Because my aunt lives like 10 minutes from my job. Do you want to stay there and not drive home? And I was like, no, I'm good. And she was like, okay, just like drive in the middle lane. I was like, why? Like, you know, I'm fine. Like, I don't expect it to happen again. Hopefully not. I take that highway home every day, you know. It was just one idiot, probably drunk or whatever, going the wrong way. Just that one day. So thank God I'm okay. far to look at it because I couldn't believe that there was not a scratch. Like nothing. Just blows my mind. So yeah, I felt very, very lucky and very blessed that day. Sorry, I keep playing with this thing on the table. I hope you can't hear me doing that. I'm gonna stop doing that. Okay, so that was incident number 1. Incident number 2. Fast forward to Sunday. Well, actually, okay, let me backtrack a little bit. It was St. Patrick's Day weekend. I had gone out Saturday night with some friends. Nothing like crazy. We just went to like a bar, had a couple beers, whatever. For St. Patrick's Day. And sorry. Had a couple beers, whatever. Okay, and then fast forward to Sunday morning. I did wake up and my head did hurt. I think I'm definitely getting old because a couple beers gave me a headache the next day. But I woke up, had a little bit of a headache. My friends were all sleeping because I had to go to church. This happened at church, so I had to go to church, so I woke up early. And they were all still sleeping, so obviously I'm not gonna wake up and be like, hey, make me breakfast, because I slept at my friend's apartment. So I left without eating anything and without drinking anything. And you know, when you drink and you wake up the next day, your body's usually dehydrated. So I was dehydrated and I didn't eat anything. I got to church. I was wearing my uniform because I'm part of my church's media ministry, in case you didn't know, which basically means that we live stream our church services on Facebook and, you know, on another website, so people all around the world can listen to our services live. So we have 3 big studio cameras around our sanctuary, like the big ones that you have to like stand to hold. Hey, Maya. She's having an incident over there. So I'm a director on the media ministry, and so I thought that I was scheduled to work that Sunday, but I got my dates wrong. So I actually wasn't scheduled to direct. I was scheduled to direct the following Sunday. But I showed up and the head of our like media ministry was like, "You're dressed. Like, are you planning to like work or whatever?" And that's when I realized that I got my dates mixed up. And she was like, "You know, no worries. You'll just be like an extra hand." I said, "Okay, great, fine." So she asked me to hop on a camera along with 2 other camera people for like one little part of the service. So I did it, good, got off the camera, went back upstairs. I had drank it like 2 bottles of water at that point, and I had like a little packet of M&Ms with like 5 or 6 M&Ms in it, the peanut ones, and that's all I had in me. And she goes, "Actually, can you guys go back on the cameras, because we had one of our like newest directors was directing that Sunday, and she, you know, you need more practice when you're new." So the head of our ministry, you know, she asked if we could go back on the cameras. So I didn't want to, but of course I said, yeah, fine, that's fine. I brought another bottle of water with me, went downstairs. So when you do cameras, you're normally standing for a good hour, a little bit more, like an hour and a half, straight. Stand for an hour and a half straight. It sucks. It's horrible. I haven't done cameras because I direct in the ministry now, so I hadn't done cameras for a good year and a half, and I didn't miss it. So I'm like uncomfortable. I'm like switching back and forth on my feet, and I made it about 45 minutes in, and all of a sudden I got hit with a wave of like nausea. Like I felt like, oh, I need to like excuse myself and go to the restroom. And I don't get sick from drinking, like minus a little headache every now and then. I don't get sick. I've never like thrown up, nothing. I have a very strong stomach, I guess. My friends hate me for it. But I was like, okay, maybe like what I drank last night isn't sitting well with me for some reason. I don't know. But then that lasted for maybe like 15 seconds. And then that went away. And I started to get very lightheaded. Like really lightheaded. And I was like, oh, okay. So we wear headsets. So I told the woman directing, I was like, hey, I'm really lightheaded. I need to go sit. And then she said something afterwards. It was something like, okay, like lock your camera down and whatever. But I didn't even really pay attention to that. I got so lightheaded. I'm gonna put this on airplane mode because the vibration is just too loud. So where was I? Oh, I started to get extremely lightheaded, and then she said something to me, and I like remember like staring off into space a little bit because I was so lightheaded. And then my vision started to go blurry, like really blurry. And then a few seconds later, I saw black. Like I could not see anything. That has never ever happened to me before. It was like someone put like a blindfold over my eyes or something. I could hear everything. I was like still conscious, but I could not see anything. And I was desperately trying to like find the camera, to hold on to it, like to hold on to something, because I was really just, I felt like I was standing there. Just, I couldn't see anything, like I didn't know what was going on. And mind you, this is really embarrassing. Our cameras, I was on a side camera, and it's up on a little pedestal, like you walk up 3 steps, and then you're up on the platform with the camera in front of the whole congregation. So I'm not hidden, I'm wearing all black on a white wall. I can't even imagine how ridiculous I looked, like basically going like this in front of everybody. Obviously they're looking at the pastor and not at me, but like people who were around me could absolutely see me. And my friend, who she was up on, we have a balcony, and she can see me, and she's part of the ministry too, and she told me afterwards that she looked at my face and she knew like I was not there. She knew that something was wrong. And her mom, who is also part of the ministry, she's one of the directors, she apparently ran downstairs once she heard that I was lightheaded. She ran downstairs to go get me, I guess, and she said that this was probably when my vision went black, because I vaguely remember this. She grabbed my hand and she was saying, Sam, sit down, and I apparently like wouldn't sit. I don't know. It's because I like was starting to lose it, so I wasn't really like in control of myself anymore. And that's all I remember. I vaguely remember hearing her say sit. I had no vision. I don't know who took my headset off, or if I did, I don't remember. And the next thing I knew, I opened my eyes and I was on the floor with people like around me. And this is how while the service is still going on, we are like on the very side of the sanctuary between the last column of chairs and the wall. So I was like kind of hidden, but people knew that something was going on because there was some sort of commotion happening. My pastor was good though. He didn't stop. He just kept, like, he knew that something was going on, but he kept going with the service. So yeah, I'm just lying on the floor and I'm like looking up and I see everybody. I'm like profusely sweating. I guess that's what happens when your body goes through that. I'm like sweating. I'm like, I can feel myself like looking at everybody like this, like that. And I heard someone say she's really, really pale. And then they tried to carry me out of the sanctuary, and I had one person holding me under my arms, so I'm like this, and then someone is holding onto my feet and they're trying to carry me out that way. I was conscious enough to know that I looked ridiculous, so I was like, no, I can walk, just give me a second. So they sat me back down on the floor. I waited a couple seconds, but obviously they needed to get me out. So one of our head ushers, I saw him and I was like, Steve, help me up. So he grabbed my hands, pulled me up, and then they all held my hands and I walked out of the sanctuary using the side door. And they walked me to a kitchen. We have like a kitchen that's used for like fellowship and like meetings and whatever. And they sat me down. We have like a medical like ministry, so basically whoever's like a nurse or a doctor in real life, they can volunteer in real life as like a career. They can volunteer their services on Sundays, so that if anything like this happens, there's like a nurse on standby. So they brought me to the kitchen. By protocol, they have to call an ambulance, so they called an ambulance. I had started to feel better. They gave me a cup, like a cup this big of orange juice, and that helped. And then we have like a police officer on our property on Sundays, just like mostly to direct traffic because it gets pretty chaotic. So he came in, and of course he was good looking, of course, and I'm over here, my hair is a mess, I'm like sweating, but it's fine, whatever. But he came in, and they just, you know, they started asking questions. They took my blood pressure, all those good things, and my vitals were fine. And then slowly but surely I started to feel like myself again. I was still lightheaded, but I didn't feel like nauseous or faint anymore. They gave me half of a mini bagel and fruit because I told them that I hadn't eaten, so it was mostly like a blood sugar thing mixed with being a little dehydrated and standing for 45 minutes. So I guess all the blood just like left my head. And then the ambulance came. At that point I had already, like, I had asked for another glass of orange juice. I had eaten, so I felt more like myself. But you know, they have to come and do their thing. They checked my blood sugar, and that girl, I still have a mark from it. She really like got me good. You know, they have to like prick your finger and take your blood. Like, I had a bruise on the tip of my finger. That's how she got me good. My blood sugar was fine. Blood pressure was obviously a little low, but it was, you know, it was fine. They took it again after I ate, and it was better. And so basically it was up to me whether I wanted to go to the hospital or not. I said I knew it wasn't necessary. I knew that I needed to eat. So then eventually, you know, the police officer left, the EMTs, correct me if I'm wrong, but you know what I mean. They left, everyone's fine, so everyone kind of like sat with me. A couple of my friends that were at church that day came and sat with me. My mom was there, her husband was there, everybody was there, and then we were able to laugh about it for a bit because I am actually, in the span of 8 years, I am the third person to faint while on cameras at church. So the leader of my media ministry obviously is like not happy, and she's like, these cameras need chairs, and we need fans, and it's true, you stand for an hour and a half. For people who, you know, don't, like, if you're a camera person for a living and you're used to standing all day, that's different. None of us do that, so it's rough to stand for like an hour and a half straight. So something definitely needs to be done there. Because they were like, you're the third and you're the last, like, this is not happening again. And God forbid we're up on a platform, so thank God I never fell. They like helped me down and like caught me. My friend who was the first to faint 8 years ago, she fell off the platform, and I think she hit her head. She went to the hospital, but she was fine. But you know, you can really hurt yourself. And I told you guys a few videos ago, if you remember, my dad is prone to fainting. He's had 3 or 4 fainting episodes, so I guess that's where I get it from. But he fainted about a month ago and broke his leg into about 10 different pieces. So he had to have surgery. He obviously still can't walk. He just started physical therapy yesterday, I think. So it's dangerous to faint, and if there's nobody around to catch you or to help you or whatever, you know. So the church could get sued too. So, you know, they need to be really careful with that. But yeah. I have not been at church since, and I'm very embarrassed. I mean, obviously it's not like, well, it it's my fault because I should have eaten, but you know, you can't really control what you look like when you lose consciousness, I guess. But I am slightly embarrassed because this is not the first time I've like fallen at church. I fell down the stairs once at church during a service. I was sitting in the balcony and I had to go to the restroom, so I had to go down the stairs, and I was wearing a long maxi dress, and it got under my sandal, and we have like carpeted rugs, and I fell on my butt and I went boom 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 all the way down the stairs in the middle of a service, and everybody heard it, and everybody was like, and this is a pretty big sanctuary, and it's funny how like my mom and my boyfriend at the time and like my friends that were there, they knew without even seeing, they knew that it was me. Like my mom sits downstairs towards the front and she looked up and saw that I wasn't sitting in my seat, and she knew it was me. Like people just know, they know me at this point. They know how I am. I hurt myself sometimes. But yeah, everyone was really nice. I got a couple phone calls Sunday night and Monday, everyone asking, you know, how I was. I don't have typical weekends for my work schedule, so I was actually off Monday and Tuesday, which was great. Well, I was supposed to be off Tuesday, but I actually did get called into work on Tuesday. But Monday I was off. I didn't go anywhere. I stayed home. I slept for the majority of the day on Sunday, to kind of get your energy back, because once your body kind of goes through something like that, you're kind of like wiped out. So I slept for a good like 5 hours when I got home from church. I ate a meal first and then I went home and slept for like 5 hours. So it was an eventful week. There was a lot that went on, and I think also part of it, oh, this is what my dad actually told me this, but once he said it, I realized that it was true. I am also, like, I don't rest, like, between work and YouTube and seeing friends and going to see family. I don't rest, ever. So, like, usually I'll work Wednesday through Saturday, and then Sunday I go to church usually and I direct, and then Mondays I go see my family an hour away, my dad's side of the family. I get there early, I cook dinner for everybody, we all eat whatever, and then I drive the hour back home, and I get home at like 9. Then Tuesdays I usually devote to filming and editing all day, and then Wednesdays I go back to work. So, and then Saturday nights, like, I usually will go out with friends and whatever. So I don't rest ever. I don't like really sit other than like maybe an hour after I get home from work, and I watch Netflix for a little bit until I go to sleep. But like I don't, like I'm always going. And you know, my dad said that because that's why he fainted, because he was so exhausted, and he was like, sometimes your body is gonna tell you when you need to like chill for a little bit. So I think that might have been part of it too, but it was mostly just that I didn't eat. But it was a nice reminder to kind of be like, Sam, chill out for just like a little bit. So that's why it was really nice to just not go anywhere on Monday. I had the house to myself, and I did go to TJ Maxx on Monday, but that was about it, and that was nice. So, you know, I'm fine. I made it. I'm good. But it was a trying week. But, you know, at the end of it, I'm fine, and no hospitals were needed. Nothing like that. And it also showed me, like, who, like, my really close, like, friends are, because my mom posted about the near car accident on Facebook. You know how moms are with Facebook. She made a whole post about it, so I had a lot of people texting, calling me, even like cousins who I don't really speak to as often. So that was really nice. So it's nice to see, you know, like who is like really there and like cares for you, you know. So yeah, and the people that don't. But anyway, so that was my week. this up close whisper was as interesting as the last one, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. So, as always, thank you so much for watching. I encourage you to follow me on Instagram because I love using my Insta stories now, and I like to like polls every once in a while, and I like to communicate with you guys. So go follow me on Instagram. You can also subscribe to my second channel if you would like. Link in the description. I don't post on there as often. I try to do once a week, but it's kind of turning into once every 2